Hey, my name is Jesus Castillo for rubyguides.com, and in this video you are going to learn what is an ORM, why is it useful, and how it compares to using raw SQL statements. So first, what is an ORM? Well, ORM stands for Object-Relational Mapping, and that is a fancy name, but what it does, it allows you to work with your database as if it were an object inside your Ruby application, right? So we will see exactly how that works. But basically, ActiveRecord, if you're familiar with ActiveRecord, that's an ORM, right? Another ORM in Ruby is called rom, and another is called SQL. These are less known, but these also do the same thing, the same idea, right? So to be able to understand why these are useful, we first have to take a look at how can you access a database with those ORMs. And to do that, I'm going to use the psql command to access the Postgres database that I have installed. Then I'm going to connect to a database. Right there we are connected. You can list the tables, and we can also list the columns in this table, which are free: name, type, and ID. Okay, so now if I want to list the contents of the table, I can do select star, and this star means what columns do we want. Star means all of the columns, from foods, which is the name of the table. And of course this gives us the contents of the database, which are the macadamia nuts and flax seeds, right? Just two entries, as you can see, two rows. Now, this is what we call SQL, right? This is the language of the database. If you want to do anything with the database, you have to use this language, right? You can also do filter. You can filter items. For example, we can filter by their ID. So we can say, only give me the item with ID that equals to 1. Like that, right? So I'm not going to teach all of SQL here because that will be like a long video. I just want to give you a sense for what it looks like, so you know why we don't use this all of the time, why an ORM is helpful. So now if I go out of my database and I go into a Rails application, so Rails has active support. It uses ActiveRecord by default, right? So I can open the Rails console. I have an alias to open the Rails console, and in here we can access the database using ActiveRecord, right? And you will see the difference immediately. So if we didn't have ActiveRecord or SQL or any other ORM, right? ORM, then what we will have to do is we will have to use these expressions all over our code, right? We have to use all of these expressions and remember how to type them correctly and all of that. So to fix that and to access our database in a different way, we can use ActiveRecord, and it looks like this. So this is a different data set, a different database. This other was about food. In this case, we have nuts and seeds. But this other database, the Rails application, is about books, right? It's a book catalog. So to access all of the books, in ActiveRecord, we simply do book all, right? Like that. And as you can see, it's very simple. And what does ActiveRecord do? Well, in the background, it's creating a SQL statement, right? As you can see, select books from books. So this looks a lot like our select here, only that we don't have to type all of this, right? The only thing I did is book all. We can also filter with ActiveRecord. We can do book where, and then I can give some condition. And here we can say something like ID is greater than 5 or 4, whatever, just an example. And we get the books that match that condition. Now, why do we call this object-relational mapping? Well, because each of these entries in the database, when we request them using ActiveRecord, they are actual objects. So if I get the first object, this is a book class. This is the book class, right? And we can work, you know how to work with objects, right? Objects have methods because of their class, and we can access it like this. Title, and we get the title, right? So that makes it very easy to work with the results that you get back from the database, right? And ActiveRecord is doing all of the hard work for you, is generating the SQL that's necessary to get you this information. And that's exactly why we use ORMs, because they save you a lot of work. You don't actually have to know SQL to create a Rails application, but it helps, right? It helps to know at least the basics, how it works. So that's it. Hope you found this video helpful. Please click the like button for me so I know that you like this video. And if you want to keep learning, watch more of my videos now, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and visit my website rubyguides.com. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next video.